How you doing? Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's well. Fish is on a bit of a mad one, by the looks of it. Dale says bus parade for Spurs tomorrow. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Good. I mean, good win for them. But even then, I think it's good for Spurs, but equally it's quite concerning for Man City. Um, they've got our old assistant manager, Pep Linders, who we don't. I say we, who kind of many Liverpool fans don't like. So it's giving a degree of comfort to see him screw up another team. But yeah, I'm sure City will be back. But it's nice to see them lose. Can't lie, especially at home. Especially at home. Fish says picture perfect. You don't need no filter. Gorgeous. Make 'em drop dead. You a killer. Show you with all my attention. Yes, these are my only intentions. That's very poetic. I won't ask if you created that. I have a feeling it's a song lyric, and if it isn't, then that's kind of more worrying. So yeah, let's pretend that's a song. Harry says, "Hello, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. Had a busy day today, but got a lot done. How's things with you? I wanted to play Call of Duty today, but I didn't get the time, so might be giving that a go tomorrow." Fish is asking Harry when his diss track is going to be released. Soon, probably soon. I've heard he's written the lyrics for that, so you should be getting your response pretty soon. Fish also says, "Don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice." Do you want to expand on that? Like, what kind of makeup have you done? Is it like blusher, foundation, or is it something more complicated than that? Bagwell says hi. Fish is apparently cooking something. Dexter says, "See the Coventry City game." I did not. What happened? You may. I'm gonna Google it now though. Let's have a look. Oh wow, 7-1 against QPR. Let's see if I can put this on. Dexter is correct. Dang. 7-1. Sky Blues demolish Woeful Rangers. Coventry City celebrated a momentous weekend for the club by hammering 7 goals past Woeful Rangers. Damn. Do you know, were they kind of good goals, or... I guess it doesn't really matter when you score 7, to be fair, but yeah. Good to know. Frank looks super happy. Jamal says Amarim has won 7 out of his last 27. Not good enough. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I read something somewhere that's like the worst record a Man United manager has ever had. I guess the kind of reasoning he had previously was that he didn't have his own players. But now that he's kind of spent a lot more money, I think there's going to be a lot more pressure on him. So we'll see. We'll see how long he lasts. I'm not a betting person, but like if I had to make a guess, I'm not sure he'll still be around at Christmas. But let's see. Hugo says Arsenal 5 Leeds 0. Yeah, I saw that. That's part of the reason I didn't want to do that game, because I knew it was going to be a battering. You know, Arsenal at home to a promoted side. I felt like it's pointless. It's pointless sitting through that, because Leeds are not gonna defend. Arsenal are gonna score loads of goals. So to be honest, that's kind of part of the reason I didn't bother watching that one. They just kicked off here. Barcelona Levante. I want to see how Marcus Rashford is doing. It's part of the Part of the reason. So let's set the timer. Oh shit. Barcelona wearing red? No, Barcelona in yellow. Well, I've set the timer. Give me a second. Fish says, don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup. So nice. Fish is Sigma and the rest of that. I'll try my best not to make you cry. I mean, if you can tell me what makes you cry, I'll try and avoid doing that. But right now I'm a bit unsure. A Lampard masterclass at Coventry, said Hugo. It's the same thing with Lampard. He does well in the lower leagues, but as soon as you give him budget, as soon as you give him funding, as soon as you give him players with an ego, he absolutely collapses. If I had to guess what's going to happen, Tuchel's not going to impress. He's going to be far too defensive at England. And then the media are going to say, oh, get Frank in. He understands how things work. And then they'll get Lampard in. That's probably what will happen. Dexter says there's one class goal from Victor Torp. This is the Coventry game. I'll need to check that out. Hugo says, I reckon this will be Arsenal's year. I don't think so, to be honest. Last week, people were saying it was Man City's year. I'm quite hesitant to kind of draw conclusions based off beating relegation standard teams. Search player Abidal. You look like him. Okay, interesting. We'll add this guy to the list. I've got Ruben Amorim. I've got Bo Salah. I've got. Well, it can't be Eric Abidal. It must be. What's his first name? Let me know what his first name is. I'll have a look. Hugo would get Peter Crouch as England manager. To be honest, I'd probably get Peter Crouch as England striker. Just stick him up front. He played in the Legends game for Liverpool a few months back, and he looked alright. Scored a header, scored a nice volley as well. So I'd probably stick him up front. Hazza says, up the mags. How you doing, Hazza? Hope you're good. James says, Gyökeres is not going to score many more goals. Yeah, to be honest, I doubt it. Like, I saw the first goal. And again, not trying to sound butthurt, but Leeds just completely stood there. None of the players defended, which is kind of bad enough. And then, in addition to that, he just went near post. And the keeper just didn't dive for it. I think perhaps what's a bit more concerning, I think Odegaard got injured and I think Saka went off again, so that might be more concerning. Corner for Rashford here. Not a bad corner, but cleared out. Fish says, Blue Moon, thank you very much. Durwood says, hello champion family, how's everyone? I'm good. Had a busy day but got a lot done. How's things with you? Hope things are well with you. You don't know if he plays anymore. I don't. If you mean Eric Abidal, I do not look like Eric Abidal. Like Mo Salah, I could understand. Ruben Amorim, I could understand. Enzo Maresca, I could understand. This guy, I don't look anything like this guy. I genuinely don't see it. Hazard says, I'm good, bro. I support Newcastle. Very excited for Monday. Good luck. Yeah, good luck to you too. It is the most exciting game of the weekend. Can't lie, a bit nervous. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I just wish these games would be like at the at the start of the weekend. You know what I mean? So you can get the game done, and then you can get on. You can get on with your weekend. It always irritates me when they're at the very end. So you're just waiting the entire weekend for this match. We play Arsenal after Newcastle. Yeah. Is it a week later? Apparently, Saka might be out, and apparently Odegaard might be out, which is a positive for us. I guess the downside is Eze will probably make his debut. But yeah, it should be a good game. I think it's at Anfield, that one. Dawood says, "I'm good. It's hot today, but I'm still going." Well, that's the most important thing. If you're still carrying on, it's been quite cool for us. But Monday it's gonna be hot, which I was ruining earlier, because I was like, Monday, the one game where I have to plunk myself in front of a computer because it's Newcastle Liverpool. That's the day it decides to be hot. So that's pretty much the only day we've got where it's gonna be hot. But yeah, thankfully it's quite cool here now. Hazard is also nervous. Yeah, understandable. We don't have a right back at the moment, so that it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Possibly Sabozlai playing there. Possibly Endo. Possibly Joe Gomez if he's back. Hugo thinks Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1. I think my prediction was I think we'll take it maybe 2-0, but I think it will be a tough game. Durwood says, Hazza, what's your opinion on some of your team's fans calling for your players to injure Liverpool players? You seem level-headed. That's the only reason I'm asking. Yeah, I think there's someone's just scored. It was Morales for Levante, but it's been disallowed. The problem is the Levante kit looks exactly the same as the Barcelona kit. It's blue. It's blue with kind of red stripes. So I was thinking, have Barcelona scored? And I was like, no, it's Levante. But yeah, still 0-0. Hugo says Joe Gomez right back. If he's fit, yeah. I get the only kind of concern I'd have is Joe Gomez starting a game when he hasn't played much football at all. He probably ain't going to be able to play the full game, which means we still need to bring somebody off the bench. You know what I mean? What I think will probably happen is I think Szoboszlai will probably start at right back. And then Endo will probably come on at the hour mark. Maybe for Gravenberch. Who knows? Maybe then Szoboszlai goes into midfield. Philippe Todorovic says, look at Arsenal's next 4 games. They're cooked. Let's have a look. I think the next one is Liverpool. I don't know if you lot can see this here. But it's basically Liverpool Arsenal on the 31st of August. Then it's Arsenal Nottingham Forest mid-September. Then it's Arsenal Man City. Then it's Newcastle Arsenal. Yeah, I think as Philip said, pretty cooked. I mean, they're gonna have a tough September. I guess that makes it all the more important that there aren't any serious injuries to Saka or Odegaard. It's supposed to be cool down down here next week. Thankfully, of course it cools down, and I'll move to a house with central air. Yeah, I hear ya. It's just been unbearably hot the past few weeks, past few months. But thankfully that seems to be ending soon. Oh yeah, that's a shout. Leone could try right back. I guess the only kind of concern is, do you know if Leone's played much right back before? Number one. And I think right back in an honest slot team doesn't really feel like a defensive position. It feels more like an attacking position. And it would be a bit harsh to throw an 18-year-old in on his debut in a new position away to Newcastle. it would probably be a bit harsh. I think all things considered, it would probably be Szoboszlai. Daniel says Bradley. I think Bradley's injured. Well, Bradley was injured. I don't know if he's gonna pass a late fitness test to make it. But last I heard, Bradley's injured, and Frimpong's also injured, so we're a bit stuck. Callum says, I don't think I could cope with another Endo at right back session. Yeah, it's an experiment which for me doesn't really work. I like Endo. I think he's great. I think he's great in midfield. But whenever I see him at right back, I develop a certain anxiety every time the ball goes over to that side. So I hope not. Taste the Tester says, how's it, man? Pretty good, not too bad. How's things with you? How was work today? Hope that wasn't too bad. Ilyas says, hi bro, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Had a busy day, but equally got a lot done. So that's a positive. But yeah, not bad. How's things with you? Hope you had a nice weekend. Did you watch the Man Chiti game? I caught the last 5 minutes of it which is when I basically got home. And as soon as I turned it on, the commentators were saying, yeah, Spurs are 2-0 up, which is amazing. But this is the same point where they collapsed against PSG. And I was like, oh my God, did you have to say that? Now I'm worried they're going to collapse again, but thankfully they held on. So I just saw the last 5 minutes. I saw the Brendan Johnson goal like on my phone, and I don't know who scored the other goal. But yeah, surprising. I wouldn't have predicted that. Like I predicted Arsenal to completely annihilate Leeds, which is kind of why I didn't want to watch that. You know what I mean? I was like, why sit through that? They're gonna. I didn't think they'd score 5, but I thought, you know what, it's gonna be so one-sided. I don't want to sit through that. But I didn't think Spurs would win against Man City. So I'm like, fair play. I see the Pep Blinders has already infected that team, which is good to see. Hugo says it's been freezing lately. I don't know, it's been so cold. To be honest, I'm still finding this hot. It's like 20 degrees, which is still a bit too hot for me. Give me like 10 degrees, that's perfect. Yeah, Szoboszlai right back, 100%. Meza says, did you see Coventry winning 7-1? Yeah, somebody mentioned it at the start. I didn't see the game because I didn't have much time today, but somebody mentioned it at the start. Pretty good result for Mr. Lampard. Raul Albiol, you look like. Okay, well, this is a new one. I'll need to make a list of these people because quite often I don't think I look like them. Really? Okay, maybe at first I was gonna pick this picture, and I thought that looks nothing like me. But maybe if I go for the one with a beard, maybe that's a bit. To be honest, he's wearing a yellow t-shirt as well, so we'll go with that. Oh, With that said, Levante have just scored. Romero. I swear, every time I'm I'm googling a picture, that's when somebody scores. Like, let's see what happens. Yeah, the broke down the left hand side, crossed it in. Barcelona defense nowhere, and then Romero just basically dribbles forward and hits it into the corner. 1-0 to Levante. Yeah, that was it. Palhinha scored the second goal. Yeah, was it a good goal? I didn't see it. I saw the Brendan Johnson. It was basically a low cross, and he kind of. I don't want to say he tapped it in, but he basically tapped it in. But yeah, hope the Palhinha goal was good. Durwood says it was a good game. Bad refs, but good game. That is the Premier League summed up in about 2 sentences. It's a good game. Bad ref, but good game. Trafford should have been sent off, but that's the PGOML for you. What happened with Trafford? What did he do? Bad tackle or bad punch or something? Again, I completely missed this game today. I did see somebody make a comment saying that Guardiola hasn't replaced De Bruyne yet, but it's like, how long can you keep on saying that? Because like he spent like 200 million in January. He's spent another bunch of money now. You know what I mean? It's like another De Bruyne is not gonna come along. De Bruyne is a maybe like a once in a decade player. So I don't know why he gets to use that as a shield, because he spent lots of money. So he should have found a way around that. Taster Tester says was good. I left work at 2, then I got home, I rested a bit. Then I saw Arsenal got 5-0 win and Gyökeres opened his scoring. Yeah, I think he got 2 goals. I think he got a penalty as well. But yeah, good win. I mean, high scoring game. Part of the reason I didn't want to watch that because I knew they were going to win. But to be fair, I wouldn't have predicted a 5-0. So yeah, all things considered, good win. Barcelona are looking a bit more attacking now. Yamal's hair kind of matches his kit. Yeah, Palhinha scored the second. Came off defender, he smacked it, and it basically own goal or his goal. I see, okay. Deflected Trafford's arm outside the box, but natural position, I think. Fair enough. I'll need to watch it back. But yeah, Barcelona coming forward a lot more now. The flip side is Levante are a lot deeper now. Levante got every player behind the ball. I hope they don't plan to defend for 70 minutes because we got a long way to go. Yamal crosses it in. Nothing happened. Go straight to the keeper, and now Levante are just gonna slow the game down. Tester says Barcelona will win. They were just caught sleeping a bit. Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate. They were sleeping and Levante got a goal, but since that goal, uh, Levante have just put every player behind the ball, and I feel like typically whenever teams do this, it's very rare that they are actually able to hold on to that lead for that long. Like eventually there'll be a little gap somewhere, and a player will get in, and then it'll be 1-1. And then once it's 1-1, then Levante will start panicking, and when Levante start panicking, Barcelona will get another few goals. That's pretty much what I'm expecting, and it seems like it's also what Taster Testers is expecting. Peter Crouch should be England manager. Is there a reason for that? I don't know if Peter Crouch has like any coaching experience. I don't know. I don't even know if he's got coaching badges. If you think about it, Peter Crouch should just come out of retirement and play up front. English has a laugh, funny vibe. To be fair, he ticks a few boxes. He does tick a few boxes. Maybe he'd be a good motivator. I don't know how things are going with Tuchel. I haven't really bothered watching, but I presume not particularly well. Here's Rashford. Rashford gets into a crossing position, right? And then instead of crossing the ball, he passes it back. But he passes it all the way back to the halfway line, and then Levante almost counter. You know what I mean? that was pretty atrocious. Levante 3-1 Barcelona is Hugo's prediction. You think Levante will win 3-1? I think Barcelona might win 3-1. Trafford is the new Doku with his kicking skills. Oh right, so was it that high? Like Doku versus McAllister, that type of thing. What's happening with Edison then? Does that mean Edison's getting sold? Search Peter Crouch standing next to Van Dijk. He's probably taller than him. I think Crouch is 6'7". Van Dijk is 6'4". JPC says up the Tottenham. Yeah, good win for Spurs today. Can't lie. I wouldn't have predicted that. Edison to go. Yeah, I've heard. I read something about that. Edison to Galatasaray. Apparently for like a very small fee as well, for like £2 million or something. Does that mean Trafford is the Man City number one, or will they get somebody else? I heard there might be in for Donnarumma. And as soon as I said that, Hugo says that at the same time. Donnarumma to replace him. Yeah, so does that mean Trafford will be the backup? I presume so. And Donnarumma would be the starter. How you doing, Mark? Mark says, Gahey and Isak next week, mate. I think so. I think the Isak deal was just kind of dependent on this game happening first. But I think that will pick up speed. Maybe on the Tuesday, maybe on the Wednesday. Liverpool seem to have put all their eggs in that basket. So I can't see kind of what else would happen, if you know what I mean. Because they've got what? They've got Gakpo, they've got Ekitike, they've got Salah. They've got Chiesa, who was never good enough, apparently, and who they didn't even take on the tour, but now suddenly is good enough. Like I always thought Chiesa was great, but I'm still perplexed as to why he didn't take him on the tour. You know the the Asian tour. That was just like a month ago. Like, has he really, like, quote unquote, changed his ways in the matter of weeks? That whole situation is weird. Something doesn't add up there. Something doesn't add up there. But yeah, I hope this Isak deal gets done. Yes, that kick. I think Edison is going to Turkey. Yeah, I think Galatasaray or something. Apparently, the fee is very nominal. It's just a couple of million apparently. So hopefully that puts the whole Edison Allison debate to bed. Not that I ever felt like it was a debate, but for some people it was. 50 million is the asking price for Donnarumma. That's probably a good price in today's market if you think about it. All things considered, it's probably a good price. City said they can't afford his asking price. I'm not surprised considering they spent 200 million in January, 200 million ish in the summer. I don't know if they've offset any of that with sales or anything. But I just find it ironic to say, "Oh, I can't afford that after you spend the best part of $500 million." It's crazy. It's like you spend, I don't know, it's like you spend all your money on designer clothes and then you walk into a shop saying, "Oh, I can't afford a bottle of water," whilst you're wearing all these expensive clothes. It's like you can't afford them because you spent your money elsewhere. David says Forest versus Palace tomorrow is going to be elite given the circumstances. Yeah, 100%. What's the deal with Nuno? Is he going to be managing, or is that situation still a bit up in the air? Taster Tester says take Rashford off. He's going to cost them the game. He did do that weird thing where he ran down the left, and he was basically by the corner flag, and then instead of crossing it, he passed it backwards. But his backwards pass ended up being a through ball for the Levante striker. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's like his pass ended up being the worst possible thing he could have done. Hugo says 3-4-3 we should play versus Newcastle. You reckon? My only concern would be we don't really play that system, and I wouldn't risk playing a new system, especially in this game, if you know what I mean. I'd rather they kept the existing system and then just slotted Szoboszlai or someone into right back. Because 3-4-3 is completely different. And in reality, like we say 3-4-3, but then without the ball, it's like a 5-2-3 if you think about it. And Newcastle's midfield is amazing with Joe Linton, Tonali, Gumares. I wouldn't want just two going up against those. Like, I'm concerned that 3 won't be enough. So, yeah, I think probably makes sense stick with the same formation. I think that got us to the dance. Durwood says, I think they didn't take him because he was supposed to be leaving. Probably didn't want to risk the injury. Yeah, that is true. I mean, you're probably right as to what the reasoning is. They probably thought they were going to sell him. I guess the Diaz situation wasn't quite resolved yet, so they were probably keeping him in the back pocket to say, okay, if Diaz stays, then we sell Chiesa instead. But I just find the official explanation a bit funny. Like, oh yeah, now his attitude is amazing, but you didn't take him on the tour last month. Like, it's not an attitude thing, it's a financial thing. But yeah, it is what it is. Alisson, Virgil, Canate, Leone, Kirkes, Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz, Gakpo, Salah. Is that your 3-4-3? I think we just need bodies in the midfield, especially against Newcastle. And additionally, Newcastle won't have Isak, and Newcastle won't have Callum Wilson. So I'm not sure we need like an extra centre back at the back. Forest 4-1 Palace. Could go either way. David says apparently Ange, mate, is going to become a Forest manager, mate. I would love that. Purely because it'd be hilarious. Going from ultra defensive to ultra attacking. They're literally like polar opposites in some sense. Like, going from the most defensive team into the most attacking team. I still think Ange is hard done by. So I wouldn't mind seeing him back. Our back four versus Newcastle: Kirkes, Virgil, Leone, Szoboszlai. Leone should start over Konate. Interesting. Long term, maybe. My only concern would be like he's new, he doesn't know the system. It would probably be a bit of a risk to play him. Long term, I think Leone is somebody who's gonna gradually get minutes, and then you know what I mean. Long term, he might force his way into the squad. But I doubt they'd risk like an 18-year-old centre back straight away, if that makes sense. But if this was January and he's been playing well, then they might do that. But I doubt he'd do that in the first game. David says only problem we have with Leone is he needs experience before he starts. Yeah. 100%. He needs to kind of learn the league, learn the system, learn how his colleagues play. It's gonna take a bit of time. Konate is gonna get smoked by Gordon, bro. Possibly. But I still think it's a bigger risk to play Leone because he's 18. He's 18, and if Leone was to get smoked by Gordon, that might give him a bit of a like mental block, which would make it harder for him to kind of settle in and stamp his mark on the team. So yeah, I think it's the less risky thing to just kind of play Konate, I think. He will make an appearance, but I don't think he'll start. Is that Leone for that? Sanya says Om Sampion Apo Ara Nagantak Om. I don't know what that means, but I do agree with you. Doge says, hi all, it's been so bipolar with the weather today. Yeah, it has. I went to the supermarket in the morning, right, and it was nice and cold. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I put my coat on because it was cold. And it was cold. And then on the way back, it was sunny as hell. And I was like, what's going on? What are you doing? I've got a coat on and I've got the sun beaming on my face. So I think your description of the weather is accurate. Thankfully, it just happened on my way back. If that happened like halfway to the supermarket, I would have been proper annoyed. But yeah, it's good explanation of the weather. We're in that kind of volatile period where it hasn't kind of fully gone cold yet. It'll be cold for a bit, hot for a bit, cold for a bit, hot for a bit, but hopefully not for long. Gordon versus Szoboszlai is an interesting battle. It is. I'd rather Gordon versus Szoboszlai than Gordon versus Endo, because I think at least Szoboszlai has the physicality to kind of to deal with Gordon. David says Szoboszlai will float into the midfield and play as an inverted fullback. I think that could make sense because I think the concern I have with Newcastle's midfield is it's just so strong. with Bruno, Tonali, and oh, mine's gone blank. And Joe Linton. Um, so I think Szoboszlai inverting would be a good idea because then that would give us an extra midfielder to to battle with those three, and it would give us a numbers advantage, I guess. 4 versus 3 in certain scenarios. So yeah, I'd be all for that. I'd be all for that. Taste the Tester says next game Arsenal versus Liverpool predictions. Ooh. Liverpool are at home, so I think that gives us an advantage. Um, based on based on the information that we have right now, I think Odegaard might be out injured, and I think Saka might be out injured, and I think those are two big losses for Arsenal if they do stay out injured. So with that in mind, maybe like 2-1 to Liverpool. Ooh, Ferran Torres just hit the bar from about 2 yards out. That was terrible. Probably 2-1 Liverpool. The flip side is Arsenal do look very fit, so I can see a draw happening, but I'd probably go 2-1. Hugo says Anthony Gordon. I really want him at Liverpool. Yeah, me too. Apparently he'd love to come. He's good mates with Curtis Jones. So yeah, I'd be happy with that. There just hasn't been enough kind of noise in that area this window for that to happen. But I thought it's one of those things that I thought might have happened last year. Rafinha thinks he's Ronaldinho with that hair thingy. Unfortunately for him, he's not. Taste the Tester says, "Let me open all my freezers and connect a huge fan to send you some cold weather that side." Yeah, I'd be all for that. He'll have a long way to travel. How long's the flight? South Africa to UK? It's probably gonna be long. Ah, it's not too bad actually. It's 11 hours. I thought it was a lot more than that. So yeah, definitely do that. I was concerned it might be too far and the cold air might heat up a bit, but no, it's possible. David says Gordon's too inconsistent and won't fit with the style of play that Liverpool have. I guess the concern might be for me. I think he's quite similar to Gakpo. What I liked with the kind of Gakpo Diaz dynamic was that they were polar opposites in the sense. Like Gakpo, I felt like he was like a fake striker who would just cut inside and take a shot, whereas Diaz would pretty much never take a shot. He'd always go on the outside and use his trickery to try and get a pass in. So I liked the fact that they were opposites. I guess the downside with Gordon is he'd feel a bit more similar to Gakpo. But to be honest, I don't think they'll sign any left winger. I think they want to keep that position open for Rio, which is fine. But if they want to do that, play the guy. I would have loved to have seen him come on against Bournemouth, for example. And I appreciate he didn't. And I appreciate Chiesa came on. And I appreciate that made sense because Chiesa got the winning goal. But regardless, if the pathway is there for Rio, I at least want to see him be an option to come on. You know what I mean? Hugo says McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz more than Guimaraes, Tonali, Joe Linton. I guess we'll find out on Monday. Samuel says Saudi League is still interested in signing Bruno Fernandes. Apparently they're interested in Bruno Fernandes. Apparently they're interested in Casemiro. I mean, what kind of price would they go for? That is the question. Hugo says, I think it's freezing here in UK like winter. Nah, not right now. Right now it's not winter. Right now it's still pretty warm. Um, but that will change. That will change quite rapidly. Right now, like I still have the fan on. I'm still finding it quite hot. Brazil lack players like they had in 2002. Yeah, it's not. It's not the same. They don't have those kind of mega stars that they had back then. Who would you prefer at Liverpool, Liao or Gordon? I mean, it would depend on price and wages and all that. But if both those things were equal, ooh, Levante almost scored the second. If both those things were equal, I'd be slightly leaning towards Gordon, but partly because he's English, so he'd count towards the quota. And he was a youth player at Liverpool, so he might have added motivation from that aspect. Fish says my nephew does spinning dancing. That's good to know, Fish. Hugo says that Estevao kid from Chelsea is class. Yeah, he's looking pretty good, to be fair. Um, Pretty good dribbler. Forward thinking as well, which is always nice. I feel like we went through a time period a few years ago where literally every player would just pass it sideways, and it used to get so annoying. But now we're kind of growing out of that phase, and players are becoming a bit more forward thinking again, so that's nice. Under the Floodlight says AC Milan are losing to a newly promoted team at home first game of the season. Yeah, AC Milan are not what they once were, which is a shame. They're one of those teams that I think you used to be scared of to come up against, but not anymore. David says Gordon has the Scouse effect. To be fair, yeah, 100%. I think he'd want to prove something as well because he did play for Liverpool as a child, and I think he was released. So he might feel like he's got more to prove, and that would be a positive. Fish says, "Yo, we're facing Man United, easy win." Does that mean you are a Fulham fan? To be fair, well, I hope you get a win. Gordon Jones, yeah, of course. Give Barcelona some beds they're sleeping, and for everyone having to watch them because they the problem. I think the problem they're having to a certain degree is Yamal is being very heavily marked, which you can understand to a certain degree, and Rashford is being left free. So if they try and pass it to Yamal, they fail to do that because he's got multiple players around him. So instead of passing it to Yamal on the right, they're passing it to Rashford on the left. And when they do that, Rashford just doesn't do anything. So it's a bit of a stalemate. That all the Levante defense is kind of skewed towards the right hand side. And Rashford who's free on the left is incapable of doing anything of any value. There he is again, he's free. But Yamal has players around him. Tupac says, don't mention 2010, we lost the final to Atletico Madrid. Okay, I'll try my best not to mention it. I appreciate I did just mention it just there. But sometimes you gotta mention it to not mention it. Ooh, decent header by Rafinha. However, Gordon played for Everton, in my opinion, which isn't great. True. To be fair, so did Gary McAllister. Gary McAllister's quite loved. Under the Floodlights is old enough to remember the AC Milan, Van Basten, Gullit, Rijkaard days. Those were some glory days. I'm old enough to remember the 2005 Champions League final with the Crespos and the Kakas and so forth. Even on the bench, they had like Serginho, and we had Jimmy Traore. So, yeah, they're not what they once were. Hugo predicts 1-1 United Fulham. That's probably a good prediction. LFC says, "Are you a Man United fan?" That's quite the insult, but I'll let you off. Taste the Tester says, according to the media, Yamal and Rashford don't like each other. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I appreciate that they're on opposite sides of the pitch, but there doesn't seem to be much harmony between them. It's like Yamal is doing his own thing on the right, and Rashford is doing his own thing on the left. Chiesa, Rashford, Sancho, rank 3. Oof. This one's harder than yesterday. Well, Sancho would be last. Chiesa hasn't really had an opportunity to showcase his ability, whereas Rashford has. So I'd maybe be very slightly inclined to put Chiesa first. But again, I just come across as biased. Tupac, who supports Fulham, who's also Fish's uncle, says easy win tomorrow, 3-1. Wilson, Pereira out. Emil Smith Rowe. I wouldn't mind that. What time's that game? Is it at 4:30? Might have to watch that one. Hugo says Colo Torre, the Man City training staff or something. I saw that on TV, that traitor. Yeah. Colo Torre and Pep Linders. Colo Torre, I think, to be fair, I think he might, yeah, he did play for Man City and also Arsenal. So I'm willing to let him off to a certain degree. But yeah, the Pep Linders thing is a bit wild. Pool Town FC will win the Champions League in 6 years. If you believe it, I believe it. We can come back in 6 years and say you were correct. Free kick to Barcelona, edge of the box. They're probably going to do nothing with it, and they do nothing with it. Dylan says Rashford should sign a full-term contract with Barcelona. I believe Dylan is probably a Man United fan who wants to get rid of him. Who wants to get rid of him. Bode says who will win Prem this year? I'm going for Liverpool. But that's highly dependent on getting a striker, because we are quite short. Taster Tester says they need to bring on Lewandowski and take off Rashford. I think that's a good suggestion. Rashford, it just ain't working for Rashford. Like, he's got a lot of space because Levante, they're marking the right-hand side where Yamal is. So Rashford keeps getting the ball but just doing nothing with it. It must be frustrating watching that guy. Search WWE. I know who that is. Is he another one that I look like? He's the one with the beard. I know who that one is. Yeah, Dylan wants rid of Rashford. And to be honest, I don't blame you. just get whatever you can for him at this point. And I think Cunha's taken his shirt as well, hasn't he? So there probably isn't a route back for him at this point. Marco says Newcastle will win the Premier League in 10 years. It's possible. Certainly possible. How do you feel about losing Harry Wilson to us? I can't say I really feel anything about that. I don't know if that's harsh. That's a bit rude. Um, I mean, he didn't really get much playing time at Liverpool. Um, oh, what's the ref? The ref's doing the whole "I'm going to look at the screen" thing. Um, so yeah, I can't say Harry Wilson going to Fulham annoyed me or anything. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's fine. You are going to Sunderland, yes. It's a penalty check for Levante. If Levante go 2-0 up, that's straight up funny. To me, I don't think that's a penalty. And the referee has given a penalty. Like the defender's arm was by his body as far as I could see. But Levante have got an opportunity to go 2-0 up here, which would be hilarious. Would Totti have won a Ballon d'Or if he left Roma? I think it's highly dependent on where he would have gone. Ballon d'Or is basically a glorified popularity contest at this point. I think if he would have gone to maybe one of the Spanish teams or something, then I think there's a possibility. So there's a penalty here. For Morales. Morales takes a penalty. Barcelona keeper doesn't even dive. It's 2-0. Oh, God. I never would have predicted this. This has been a weird day. Derwood, who supports Barcelona, says, as soon as I saw Rashford was starting, I didn't even bother to turn it on. That should be the characterization of Rashford's Barcelona career. It's got to the point where people who support Barcelona don't even want to watch. And to be honest, you did the right thing. He's been terrible. I don't mean to scapegoat him, but like the ball keeps going to him and he keeps doing nothing with it. Hugo says, if you were bald, you look like Brian Mbeumo. I am bald. There's no hair. There's no hair under this hat. I'm currently I'm bald. I'm going Sunderland to win the Prem. Honestly, if Sunderland win the Prem, it would just be funny. It would be an even better story than the Leicester story, so I wouldn't mind that. Rashford is playing like El Neni did before he went on loan to Basel. Damn, that's quite the damning. It's quite the damning indictment. It's half time now. So yeah, let's see if he comes on for the second. I got a weird question, and you know when they put like sprinklers on the pitch, where's the water coming from? When I went to the Liverpool game the other day, I saw that as well. I was like, where's the water coming from? The sprinkler? Like, are the sprinklers hidden under the lawn or what? Where's the water supply? Because it's just like a little square. But anyway, I need to Google that because it irks me. Where's the water coming from for the sprinklers? Is somebody putting the sprinkler there? Or is the sprinkler coming from under the lawn? I don't know. Are we home or Old Trafford? You're at home. You're at home. Ah, they're underground. Interesting. That makes sense. Because it's like a little square, so I was thinking, where's the water connected? So then, how do they put the sprinkler on the surface? Is there like a latch, and they open the latch, and then sprinkler appears? You know what I mean? And then how does that how does that keep the surface smooth? Them being underground makes sense because that means they're connected to a water supply. I need to watch like a YouTube video or something of how they put the sprinklers down, and then how they keep the surface smooth. It makes sense that they're underground, but you know what I mean. It's like if this is my hand is the grass. My hand is the grass, and this is the sprinkler. So then, do I like lift the grass up? But then, like, how do I? Oh shit! But then, how do I put the grass back down? Does it stay smooth? I'm very curious. A lot of American homes have them. They raise when turned on. So is there like a switch somewhere, like an electric switch? But then, does it affect their running? Like, if they're running and they're running over a sprinkler, like, is the surface still smooth or what? I don't know. I need to look into this. It's one of those things that just irks me, and it's one of those things that I always say I'm gonna Google, and I never do. But it seems they're underground. You can do it manually or on a timer. Interesting. Yeah, I need to look into this. I'm just curious because I always say it and I'm like, how's that working? Tati or Kaka, says Hugo. I saw more of Kaka, so I'll probably go for Kaka. Tupac, you do not support Girona, you support Fulham. The ground is dug out for the piping and the sprinkler, which I get. But then, so then, does that mean the lawn, as in the pitch, like it's not one? How do I guess I need to see the motion of it popping up and then popping back down. Like, does it? Yeah. Because the bit I don't get is, yeah, it pops out the ground, but then when it goes back down, is there like lawn that's like already taped on top of it? So then it gives the image of a smooth surface. I'm explaining this terribly, but I need to have a look. But I have some information thanks to Durwood. Is there a giant swimming pool under football stadiums? That would be funny. I presume there's kind of pipes and things, and then they connect to like a water supply. Which makes the only bit that puzzles me is when you put the sprinklers away, how do you then have a smooth pitch? How do you then have smooth grass? I appreciate this the most bizarre topic, but it's just one of those things. Have you ever watched the Choco Brothers? I used to back in the day. Barry and Paul? Barry and Paul, they were the Choco Brothers, right? One of them's dead. I think Paul is still around, but I think Barry maybe passed away a few years back. To me, to you, those guys. Sprinklers are put down. There is a small cut in the turf or grass so it can raise. It goes back down and the grass or turf. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. Makes sense. That makes more sense as well. Because another thing I've wondered is like, how do they suddenly get them all out? And the answer is they're actually underground. So they operate them via a switch mechanism. They pop up, they do their thing, and then they go back down, which makes sense. It's always interesting to see how things work. Taster Testers is off. Enjoy the rest of the day. Got work again tomorrow. Enjoy work. Hope work's not too bad. And yeah, take care. Enjoy. Yeah, Barry Chuckle. But Paul is still around. Tupac's favourite clubs are Fulham, Girona, PSG, Union Berlin, and AC Milan. That's an interesting group of teams that you got there. You got an Italian team, you got a German team, you got a French team, you got a Girona or Spanish, I think, and you got an English team. Scholes, Rivaldo, Kaka, rank those three. Well, this is going to be controversial. I'd probably go Rivaldo, Kaka, Scholes. The revisionism on Scholes is crazy. I actually watched Scholes play. Scholes was never all that. Scholes couldn't even get into the England team. Like he was fine. Like he was a good passer, and he had a good shot on him. But he was terrible at tackling, and he never seemed kind of particularly well rounded. And at the time, like nobody really cared. Genuinely, nobody really cared. It's just something like after he retired, suddenly he got elevated to this like godly status, and I just always see that and be like, what? Nobody used to care in the 90s. But yeah, I'd put Rivaldo first. I thought Rivaldo was very good. Kaka was also very good. Kaka perhaps didn't quite have the longevity, but yeah, I think Rivaldo number one for me. But yeah, what would you put? I think again it's one of those that people could rank either way. Google, yeah, I've seen it. He's got like a pigtails. That's kind of how I'd describe it. I don't know if that's the official the official cool name for it. But yeah, it's like this, isn't it? I mean, he's working it. I mean, it looks pretty good for him. It looks like he's pulling it off. So good for him, I guess. What other Premiership team would you support if you couldn't support Liverpool? I probably wouldn't support one. It's one of those things. I think when you're or more often than not, when you're younger, you end up supporting a team. Equally, like I know some people who follow football, but they say that they never had that moment when they were younger where they started supporting a team. So even though they watch football now, they just don't support anybody. Which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Is that his brother, Lacina Traore? I mean, this looks pretty normal, unless it's a specific hairstyle. I say normal. Fish is saying Google FC2. What is that? I'm googling that with the screen off because I don't know what's gonna come up. This guy is a player. He doesn't look very happy. Is there something about this guy that I should notice? 67 rated. You miss Mitrovic. Well, that's a shame. I will let him know that you miss him. I don't know if he misses you, but I will let him know the next time I see him. Barcelona just coming out for the second half. 7 enthusiasts is Barcelona 2-0 down. Indeed they are. Levante are 2-0 up. Is the score coming up in the top corner? Sometimes it comes up and sometimes it doesn't. But TikTok is a bit... okay, so it is coming up for you. Sometimes for some people it doesn't come up. But I think it's like dependent on whatever phone they have. Like sometimes certain phones they like proper zoom in. But your phone's working correctly, so that's good. I look like Carvajal. That's a new one. I've been told I look like Salah. I look like Amorim. I look like Enzo Maresca. I look like Carvajal. I look like Elias from WWE. Who was the other one? Was it Raul Albiol earlier? Yeah, I know who Akifenwa is. He's a bit of a celebrity. He's wider than he is tall. I'm not googling that. I do not want to end up on a watch list. Thank you very much. But yeah, I've seen that. When he went to Saudi. Maybe if I add the word Saudi. Yeah, to be honest, doesn't look widely different. But I guess to be fair, he generally has quite short hair anyway. Yeah, I guess if he had like wildly different hair, it might look a bit more out of place. But it looks pretty normal. Second half is starting. Long way back for Barcelona. I should set the timer. Let's see if they can do anything. Hugo is off. Take care, Hugo. Enjoy your evening. Tupac, aka Fish, says all eyes on me. All eyes are on you. P5am says, did you see that Arsenal have taken the Chiesa song, F off Tottenham, I'm a good... That seems to be the way Arsenal operate. They seem to pretty much copy everything. It's like, come up with your own thing, man. They've also painted a mural of Eze, like before he signed. It's a bit cringe, I can't lie. Like, I don't know, I just feel like they see Liverpool do these things and then they feel left out. And then they just copy it for their own means. It's like, invent your own thing. Gunnosaurus is pretty cool. Giant dinosaur. Maybe lean a bit more into that. Fish is going outside for a cigarette. Enjoy. Buy me Fulham cookie, £1. What type of cookie are we talking about? Is it like a double chocolate cookie? Or is it white chocolate and raspberry? Because they're the best type of cookies. Corner to Barcelona. Let's see if they can do anything with this. And the answer is no. Oh, Levante are through again. Saved. I guess that's the issue. Barcelona committing so many players forward. Levante just counter. You think Newcastle will pay 50 million for Vissa? They probably have no other choice at this at this point. They've lost out on multiple targets. They lost out on Ekitike. I can't lie. Reading some comments, they felt like they had like a divine right to Ekitike, which is a bit weird. Oh my god, what a goal! That was an amazing goal by Pedri. Pedri just like smacked it in from 30 yards, top corner. Definitely, if the TV remote is close by, it might be worth seeing that. Yamal passed it back to Pedri. Yeah, Pedri about 25 yards out, smacked it top corner. That was a nice goal. I didn't think that was gonna go in. To be fair, I did not think that would go in. It's 2-1. But yeah, about the Whistle thing, it's got to the point, I think, at this point where there's no other options. It's like if you're absolutely starving and there's no food, if there's no food but you've got $1 million in your pocket and you can buy a pizza for $1,000, you'd probably do it, kind of thing. So yeah, I think they probably would, because otherwise they'd be kind of very short up front. They went for Ekitike. Ekitike said no. Apparently went for Sesko. Sesko said no. So I think, even though it's perhaps not their first choice, and even though it's perhaps not their backup, I think it's probably the only option on the table. So I think they're probably gonna have to, all things considered. P5AM says, how's Rashford doing? Absolutely terrible, to be honest with you. Yamal was being basically double marked on the right hand side, which meant the left hand side was free, which meant that naturally Rashford was free. And whenever Rashford got the ball, he just ended up doing absolutely nothing with it. So yeah, he's not been doing great. Rashford comes off, they score, time to turn on the game. Yeah, it's not a coincidence at this point. Christian says, Buonasera, dilly ding, dilly dong. How you doing, Christian? Hope you're well. Hope's all good all is good in Lake Como, like it is good on this pitch, because now Ferran Torres has scored. So now it's 2-2. So Rashford might literally be the worst luck charm you've ever seen. Crossed in and then volleyed. Jake says, what team do you support? I support Liverpool. How about you, Jake? Tupac is on holiday in Craven Cottage until January. Very nice. Enjoy your holiday. Yeah, I mean, two goals in quick succession. And they were both good, to be fair. They were both pretty good goals. Pedri with the long shot and Torres with the volley. This game was just completely turned around in the space of 2 minutes. Levante get a chance there, but they don't quite convert. Fish says Google Fulham cookie. I'll do it. Is this like a special cookie that they sell? I mean, things are coming up, but I don't know if this is specific to Fulham as in your football team. There's a shop called New York Cookies, which is based in Fulham. Is that what you want me to see? You're just making me very hungry here. So I need to close that. Then I need to go back. There we go. Christian says Leone is good. Yeah. Very, very highly rated. Physically looking... physically very imposing. Technically quite good on the ball. Good price as well. Only 26 million. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see him. I don't think he'll play tomorrow. But I think hopefully we should see him soon. And I'm excited to see how he does. Ahmed says, I'm starting to worry about Isak. I'll probably start worrying maybe 2 or 3 days after the Newcastle game. Like for me, the reason why it's been playing out like this is I think they wanted to get the Liverpool Newcastle game out of the way. And then once that game is out of the way, things will pick up. I just think the situation is too far gone. The situation is too far gone now for Isak not to sign. And I think if Isak does not sign, then this whole situation is a disaster. Especially with the statement that he put out. But I think me personally, I'll probably start worrying maybe a few days after the Newcastle game. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens, I guess. Like even with the statement where he kind of released it and said said that he was promised things and he can't continue at Newcastle any longer. I highly doubt that came as a surprise to Liverpool. Like I think Liverpool would have known beforehand that he was going to release that. I mean, Liverpool might even have nudged him to do that kind of thing. So I got a feeling this is all just part of a game, which will get resolved very soon. Tupac Fan TV says F Chelsea. To be fair, they did quite well yesterday against West Ham. Ahmed says Leone might play tomorrow, seeing as we are short of a defender. It's a possibility. So specifically, Frimpong's injured, Bradley's injured, and Gomez is injured. What I think will probably end up happening, what I think is what I think will probably end up happening is Sabazlai will probably play right back. It would be a bit it would be a bit much to throw Leone in, I think, for his first game away to Newcastle. But you never know. But if I was to guess, I reckon Sabazlai plays there. But I do want to see Leone like soon. P5am says Isak will be a Liverpool player by next Thursday, or Liverpool will move to Rodrigo. I think and I hope that the Isak deal will get done. I just have a weird feeling the whole Rodrigo thing is like a smoke screen, because I've heard like journalists have said it, but there hasn't really been like any meat or any substance underneath that, if you know what I mean. Whereas the Isak thing has this whole drama accompanied with it, with statements being released and so forth. So I'm hoping it's just the first one and the Isak deal gets done. LFC on top says, why is it always when I turn a game on the team I don't like his score? You must be bad luck, LFC on top. The only recommendation I could make is do not turn any game on Monday, because we need Newcastle to lose. So tomorrow you're good. But yeah, Monday don't turn anything on. Under the Floodlights says, can you quickly watch the winning goal to beat AC Milan tonight? Player is Bonazzoli. What a goal. If you say so. Let's see if I can find it. I've probably just spelled Bonazzoli wrong, to be fair. Give me a second. Everyone's just saying, what a goal, what a goal. I'm trying to see where somebody's actually uploaded it. Pedri goal, Torres goal, Pedri goal. Was it like long ago? Malik Fofana, Morales. Federico Bonazzoli, 60. Oh, God. Just waiting for this to come up. It says web server is down on that website. I've got it in the background though. I'll keep on refreshing it. Big Charles says hello. How are you, Big Charles? I hope you are good. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Everyone's saying this is a goal of the season contender. Van Dijk to Chelsea next week. Please refer to your username with respect to my response to that. Number 15 says, hey man, how's your day been? Good, to be fair. Busy, but I got a lot done. More importantly, how's your day been? Hope you've had a good day. Mr. Default says, United. I predicted 5-0 Arsenal. I know ball. Ball, with respect to certain situations. I think the 3-2 prediction for Man United versus Arsenal was not quite as accurate. But to be fair, that was somebody from an alternate future, I think you said. So I think this version of Mr. Default does know ball. It's the version that came from the future that does not. Tupac says, Harry, yo, I. What are you on about? Son left me in the hospital with my grandson and his dad. So with your grandson and your son and his wife, and I will never be able to get out. So like, I mean, please tell us more. It's probably none of my business, and I appreciate this is a fictional scenario, but I'm just curious. Please tell us more about the situation. Why are you unable to get out? Based on what I can see, it's probably for your own good. But I appreciate the creativity. I sent you a link on Instagram of the goal. Fantastic. I shall look at that immediately. Okay. I presume, AC Milan are going to be in red. Oh no, AC Milan are in white. Okay, fair enough. Bicycle kick. Pretty nice. It's just extremely confusing that the other team is wearing red and black stripes. Oh no, so Bonazzoli scored against AC Milan. Right, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, nice goal to be fair. Cross bicycle kick. Thank you for sending that across. I mean, if I scroll up, I can see the Trent and Jude picture, which is still haunting my nightmares. But yeah, nice goal. Fish is back. Fish, why is your uncle in hospital? That is the question. Ilyas says, hi bro, could you come on for Man United versus Fulham? Yesterday you said maybe, but no pressure. Yeah, I will. No problem. I managed to get a lot done today that I didn't know if I'd get done. So yeah, I shall do that. It's 4:30, isn't it? I'm going to need to create a thumbnail though, but I can do that. No problem. And to be honest, it then frees my evening up. So yeah, 4:30. I shall be here in the same spot. Fulham are at home, so they might get something. What's Mr. Default's prediction for Fulham Man United? I should have asked. But yeah, I'll come on for that one. Cami Gray says 3-0 United tomorrow. Cunha 2 and Sesko 1. A pretty bold prediction, that. I was gonna go for a draw, but is that like a boring prediction? I feel like that is a boring prediction, to be fair. I was gonna go 1-1, But I think that might be a bit of a boring prediction. Fish says he's smoking cigarettes, but then why is he? Okay, that. Well, I hope he's happy either way. Cammy is a Liverpool fan, and that's probably what we want is a draw. But I think that will be good. Fair enough. We'll have to wait and see. Um, I can't be honest. I'd rather have a Fulham win. I was trying to be democratic, and be like, yes, I believe a draw is the most probable outcome. But to be fair, they did look quite good against Arsenal. Um, yeah, I've just got a weird feeling. I just got a weird feeling it will be a draw, but there's not long to find out. So I guess we shall see tomorrow. Apparently, they're in for another keeper as well. Because let's be honest, he doesn't trust Onana. Why doesn't he trust Onana? Because he's got eyes and you can see Onana is terrible. He doesn't trust Bayendier either, who, to be honest, is not much better than Onana. So yeah, apparently they might be getting a new keeper soon. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, just waiting for the Newcastle game at this point. When's the Liverpool green kit out? Apparently it's supposed to be out like August, but there's only a week left for August, so what's going on there? Tyler Morton is apparently very popular at Lyon. So that's good. Good for him. Good to see. $20 minutes left in this game. I think Barcelona will probably end up winning this because they've probably got the momentum at this point, being 2-0 down. That is that their away kit though. I can't say I'm a huge fan of that. What is it with this year and kind of neon green? What is it with this year and kind of neon green kits? Should probably have picked another color. Ooh, Torres with a clear header there. Fails to score. Ilias says, "Who's been your man of the match so far?" To be honest, nobody has particularly stood out. Flop of the match would probably be Rashford. Rashford was terrible. Every time Rashford got the ball, he just did nothing with it. So he'd probably be the flop of the match. But nobody's really stood out. I mean, Pedri got a good goal. Yamal's been quite quiet. So I'd be kind of curious to see who they give the award to. Where's Chesney? You tell me. It's a mystery. Oh, Yamal just kind of slipped there. Levante not giving up though. Bringing a couple of subs on. Ilias says, who will be the worst signing of the season in the Premier League? The worst signing? It would typically kind of the worst signing tends to be like an expensive player, I guess. So who have been the expensive players? I know, I know. It feels quite silly saying this after today, but I'd probably still be leaning towards Gyökeres. I know he scored today, but Leeds were just standing there. Leeds were just refusing to defend. Number one, and number two, he kind of went near post, and the keeper just didn't dive for it. So I think probably Gyökeres, all things considered. I think Sesko will be okay for Man United. I think Ekatike will do well at Liverpool. So yeah, that's probably who I'd go for. But yeah, who would you go for? Fish says post a vlog, please. I don't know what I'd vlog. I was mostly doing admin tasks today, which are not particularly interesting. Play DDLC. What's that? DDLC. That looks familiar though. Doki Doki Literature Club. What the hell is this? I'll be honest with you. I've never played Doki Doki Literature Club in my entire life. I got no clue what that is. Is it like an anime game or something? I think I might be a bit old for this game. Yeah, I tend to play more kind of FPS type of games. Or horror games. Horror games are also good. Substitution, Romero is coming off and Losada is coming on. Good old Losada. We do love a bit of Losada. Fish says, don't simp for them. To be fair, I didn't really have an intention to play the game. Leonie's had a haircut, apparently. But yeah, looks quite good. Play Eyes of Horror or Fish Horror Maths. What's Eyes of Horror? That one sounds pretty good. Eyes of... What the F is this? Well, it's a mobile game. I don't really play mobile games, but there is a Steam version. I mean, to be fair, it might be a good recommendation. It's very, very positive. I mean, your suggestions are getting better. I still probably wouldn't play this. It looks a bit basic, but this is better. More horror suggestions, please. Gakpo must have taken him to his barber. Very true. Or his barber must have stopped off at Leone's house as well. Speaking of, Fish says, "Show me your hair." There's no hair. Nothing. Shaved it all off. All gone. But give it a few weeks. Steve Parish, Crystal Palace owner, now actively wants to sell Gahey, according to sources. It makes sense. They've probably had some sort of conversation where he said, "You know what? I'm not gonna hang around. If you keep me here, I'm gonna go on a free next year." So it makes sense. Get 40 million now, reinvest it. Rather than taking the risk of him going for nothing. Have they said how much he'll go for? I think if we can get him for around 40 million, that probably is fair. But I'll see if I can find anything. Fish says egg. Yeah, it's the Arne Slot look. Play Sonic. Granny, I've heard that's like a horror game. That one might be good. Yeah, this looks like more like horror, which I quite enjoy. Yeah. Okay, I mean, maybe I can maybe give this a try. To be fair, it's only $3.99, which is pretty good. I actually might try this. I appreciate the graphics look a bit terrible, but I might give that a go. Gahey probably doesn't want to sign a new contract. Get him out so that they can get something. Yeah, it makes sense. Because in effect, if they let him go for free, they then don't get 40 million. So in effect, by releasing him for a free, they're basically paying 40 million just to have him for one more season. It's like they're paying 40 million pounds to loan him for one season, which doesn't make sense, I don't think. So yeah, he doesn't want to sign. So get some money in for him, buy somebody else, buy another centre back, and move on, I think. Which is good news for us as well. Slenderina? What's that? I've not heard of that. Slenderina doesn't come up. Sonic.executable. Do you just mean like Sonic? Yeah, that doesn't come up either. Oh, Slenderina is a thing, but again, it's a mobile game. It's on Android and iOS. What's the last one? Sonic? Is that like Sonic the Hedgehog or is that something else? Oh, this is like a horror game. Is this a horror game based on Sonic? Some sort of mod. Yeah, that's not the Sonic the Hedgehog that I recall. It looks slightly different. There's something's going on with Sonic that does not look like Sonic. I don't know who that is, but that is not Sonic. Trust me, in Slenderina, well, I don't want to particularly do that. Thank you very much. But scary games are good. Last one I played was like Tormented Souls or something. What is it? Was it like Tormented Souls? No, to be fair, the last one was Silent Hill. But Tormented Souls. Yeah, this game was very good. I played this around Christmas time. This was a really good horror game. It was on sale for like 79p. So it was literally less than £1. But yeah, this one was really good. I might play that again actually. Fish says that's you. Oh, you're the scary looking hedgehog. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think Levante are offside here. Oh, to be fair, he wasn't significantly offside. Borderline. Play GTA Fish version. What GTA is that based off of? Is it GTA 3? Is it GTA Vice City, or is it another one? What did you think of the Call of Duty with Harry? I thought that was pretty good. Oh, was that Rafinha with a shot? Yamal skips past multiple players and then I think he tried to cross it, but nothing much happened. You think Slenderina looks like Solanke? Slenderina does not look like Solanke. In what world? In what world is that Dom Solanke? That looks absolutely nothing like Dom Solanke. I don't know where you're getting that from. Kunde coming on. Barcelona got 5 minutes to turn this around. Mr. Default says, who's playing? Does it not come up like over there? Because for some people, like on some people's phones, it does come up. But on some people's phones, it does not come up. Some phones, they like proper zoom in. What's at the top of your screen? Like, can you see like this metal thing on the cap, or is it my eyebrows that are at the top? I think some phones seem to proper zoom in, and then the score gets cut off at the top. But anyway, Levante versus Barcelona. Levante 2, Barcelona 2. Ah, right, okay. Oh, so you can't see Lev at the start. So you see 2-2 bar, then half. Okay, interesting. So yours is cutting off from like the kind of the left hand side. Interesting. But yeah, it's Levante Barcelona, and it's 86 minutes now. So you can probably just see the seconds, but yeah, Levante 2, Barcelona 2. Ah, interesting. Come on, Rashford. I've got bad news for you. Rashford was playing terribly. Levante were 2-0 up, and Rashford was playing absolutely terribly. Anytime Rashford got the ball, he did absolutely nothing with it. And as I said, Levante were 2-0 up. Rashford then got substituted off. And as soon as Rashford got substituted off, Barcelona scored like 2 goals in like 4 minutes. So it's not me. It's literally, it's literally the, it's literally the universe. It's fine. They're paying all his wages. Yeah, understandable. Somebody earlier was saying, I hope Barcelona sign Rashford permanently. And I just asked him, are you a Man United fan? And he was like, yes. I don't think anyone wants him back at this point. I beg they do, but they won't. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they will. But to be honest, you'll probably ship him out somewhere. You've given Cunha his shirt. Yeah, Wrexham, maybe Rangers. To be honest, probably like the Saudi league. That's probably a possibility because he's still got name value, I guess, and you might be able to cash in. Harry says, sorry, a bit K. That's okay. Well, I say that's okay, but Fish doesn't forgive you. So it just depends. It just depends how you prioritize that. Free kick for Barcelona, edge of the box. Yamal is looking a lot more dangerous the last couple of minutes. Are you live for Fulham 1, Man United 0 tomorrow? I shall be. Yes, I wasn't planning to, but quite a few people have asked, so my arm has been pulled, and I'll go on then. So yeah, 4:30. I think 4:30 tomorrow. I mean, should be a good game. Should be a good game. I do think Man United will probably end up winning it. Like realistically speaking, but it'll be good. No, no, no. Harry's ill. I'm sorry to hear that. You reckon you caught something on the plane? That happened to me when I came back from France. I was proper ill. But yeah, I hope you feel better soon. Hydration is the key. That's not very nice, Fish. Saying nice to know we don't care. I feel like you do care a little bit. Employed microwave says the anti-Barcelona Avengers is back. That's a nice way of putting it. To be honest, the most anti-Barcelona entity has been Marcus Rashford. He's been terrible. So Levante went 2-0 up. And then Barcelona were trying. And then Barcelona just couldn't score. And as soon as Rashford got taken off, they scored 2 goals in 5 minutes. Mr. Default says, wonder where Isak will be during the Isak derby. That's quite funny because I was on the YouTube thumbnail, I was considering doing like an Isak and Isak in two different kits, if that makes sense. Like if I show you. Like I was really tempted to do like Isak in a Newcastle kit on the left, and then Isak in a Liverpool kit on the right. I was really tempted to do that, but I think that just might invoke a bit too much fume. It would have been funny though. It would have been funny. Harry says he's unwell, hence the diss track isn't coming out yet. Um, well, hope you feel better soon. Hope you feel better soon. Oh my God, Barcelona just won by an own goal? That is unlucky. But Barcelona have just scored. Barcelona have just scored. And the leader of the anti-Barcelona pack is Jose Luis Morales, still haunting them at 38, 100%. I'm still in shock that they just got that goal. Maybe Rashford really wants to join Madrid. He wouldn't get it. He wouldn't even make their bench, to be honest. Mr. Default says do it in terms of putting Isak on the thumbnail twice. I can't lie, I'm tempted. The thing is though, like if we end up losing, that's gonna come back to bite me. I'm gonna get so much abuse in the comments. What I'll do is, and I'll be a chicken. If we end up winning the game, then I'll change the thumbnail. Then I'll create two Isaks. Yeah, that's the chicken's way out. Yeah, that is probably game. That is probably game. What top are you wearing? As in right now, this is like a Liverpool retro. 94-96. Liverpool 94-96. It's quite a nice one, I think. Yeah, Rashford FCR winning. Employed Microwave says, "Oh my days, own goal. I was rooting for Levante. I can't lie. I like most people, I generally root for the underdog. So it was nice to see Levante go 2-0 up. But I always kind of had an expectation Barcelona would come back into it, so that made it a bit hard to root for them too much. I feel a bit sorry for them now. They look so dejected." Harry's been playing COD again. I don't like multiplayer. Prefer Resurgence. What is Resurgence? I've no clue what Resurgence is. Oh, is that like a Warzone thing? Warzone, I feel like there's just too many players, and then I just find that a bit disjointing. Fish is going to sleep, says bye Harry and Sir and Durwood and Alejandro Fishnaccio. I presume that's you. But yes, enjoy Fish. Warzone. Yeah, that tends to be too chaotic for me. My annoying playstyle doesn't really work there because there's just too many. My annoying playstyle requires very small maps with very narrow corridors. But it's bigger maps and less people with shotguns in close range. Yeah, I prefer the smaller maps where I can just run around like a loony and kind of slide into people. that's my jam. Employed Microwave says Lamine Yamal stinker, 97 minutes hooked. He's still on my pitch. He might have been hooked. He might have been hooked on yours. I think I might be slightly behind. I feel a bit sorry for Levante, like especially when they went 2-0 up. And they got so close, but what can you do in the end? Fish is going to work at 1 a.m. and finishing at 2:02. That is very short. A very short shift that you have there, Fish. What are you doing for work specifically in this example? Fish says, "Don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice." I mean, there's a slight conflict here because you also said that you're going to sleep. So don't you have to take your makeup off to go to sleep? But equally, you're saying you've just done your makeup, and nobody is bringing you to tears. Everyone's being nice. you were being a bit less nice to Harry, but that's why break the habits of a lifetime. Well, we just hit 7 minutes. Is that it? 3-2. Mine's still going, but if that's game, then fair enough. To be honest, Barcelona are just like passing it around, basically running down the clock as far as I can see. But yeah, that's a shame then. Oh, there you go. Now they've blown the full time whistle. 3-2, as Employed Microwave says. Not a bad game, to be fair. I mean, 5 goals. Can't really complain. Didn't quite think that Barcelona would leave it so late, but a win's a win. In a few days, they won't care. They'll only care about 3 points, I guess. Harry says, "Fish, you are mean." He is very mean. Especially mean to you, specifically. Mr. Default says, biggest club in England. Well, for me, it's the Reds. As in the Reds on the coast. Yeah, that's why I kept it vague. I was like, it's too late to say anything other than just the Reds. and then we both say yes, the Reds. And we're like, yes, the Reds, definitely the Reds, yes, 100% the Reds. And we're like, okay, yeah, that's pretty much me looking at the time and be like, yeah, the Reds. Yeah, in agreement. Harry is saying, "What did I even do to Fish?" Easy game for Madrid tomorrow, says Derwood. Yeah, I think so. Is it? I can't remember who it is now. Oviedo, is it? Is it Oviedo or something? But yeah, Madrid are gonna win that one easily. I was gonna watch that one originally, but most people are saying do the Man United one instead. So I'm like, okay, fair enough, no problem. Biggest team the Reds, smallest team the Blues. I'm happy to go with that, especially given the context of it being 22-11. I'm like, yes, that is a fact. Why do so many teams call themselves the Reds? That's a good question. Uh, but I guess in addition to that, why do so many teams wear red? Why does barely anyone wear green? Is it because the pitch is green as well? And so if a team wears green, then you subconsciously can't notice the players. Is there something in that? Maybe I'm reading too much into that. Derwood will hate watch it for me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'll come to you for updates on the next game regarding how 66 performed. It's a newly promoted team. They're gonna batter them, but yeah. Hopefully 66 has another poor performance. Harry saying this is how fish makes me feel, and it looks like a emotion of sadness and an emotion of crying. Well, that's unfortunate. Mr. Default says 66 Ballon d'Or run. Well, that's the most running that 66 has done in the past 2 years. So good for him for finally tracking back. Yes, they don't wear because of the pitch. Same reason, no black kits for the referees. Nice. I just made that up on the spot, but it also it's one of those things where you just make it up on the spot and then you think about it and you're like, there might be some reasoning behind that. Like there's Betis that wear green, and there's Newcastle because of the whole Saudi thing. Let's be honest, they wear green. But other than that, can't really think of anyone. I'm surprised not more teams wear orange. Netherlands wear orange. I think Barcelona have had an orange away kit in the past. Wolverhampton Wanderers wear orange, but I'm surprised orange is not more popular. Newcastle, richest club in the world, but still have no bull. It is kind of funny. And I'm not just saying this because Mr. Default's a Man United fan, but Man United finished 15th, and they still managed to get Sesko over Newcastle, who finished in the Champions League spot. It's just funny. There's having no pull, and there's having comically no pull to the point where it's concerning. And I think that's the point where Newcastle are at. Skill Rush says, you watch your Ronaldo match today? It's a sad defeat, bro. I didn't see it. Was it a particularly bad loss, all things considered? Yeah, and Mbuemo, gotta feel bad for Eddie Howe, yeah. Eddie Howe, bizarrely, seems like a decent guy. But it's nobody seems to want to go to Newcastle. If they lost out on Ekitike, they lost out on Mbuemo, they lost out on Sesko, does that mean there's probably other players that they've lost out on as well? Does that mean Wissa is their fifth choice, sixth choice, their only choice? It is surprising. Harry says, anyway, I'm going off now. See you on the next one. Have a good night, and hopefully we get to play again together. Yeah, probably do a few more gaming streams, possibly tomorrow, but most likely Monday or something. So yeah, we will definitely play again. But yeah, enjoy. Skill Rush has clarified, as he says, he lost another, scored a goal, and also scored in the penalty shootout. I see. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully he bounces back very soon. Kelleher and Hendo did good today. Yeah, I saw Henderson getting a bit of praise online. Good for him, I guess. Yeah, it was Brentford 1-0 against somebody. I can't remember who the somebody was. But yeah, good for them. Good for them. Mr. Default would love Eddie Howe to coach England. He almost seems like he'd be a very good fit, because I think tactically Eddie Howe is very good. He also seems like a good motivator because he seems like a decent guy. I think he's got good control of the media as well. He'd probably be the number one candidate if they could. But I think they've like England might have trouble getting him even if he leaves Newcastle. But I think he's a good coach. Yeah, Trafford also rejected them. Can't wait to see Sunderland versus Newcastle, the best rivalry in the world. Yes, the number one rivalry in the north. Skill Rush is saying, "Are you live anywhere else?" Pretty much, yeah. So YouTube is the best one to be fair because it just works. Also TikTok, but sometimes TikTok it disconnects, and then I don't realize, and then I have to reconnect it, and then when I reconnect it, obviously no one's there anymore. So TikTok can be a bit annoying, but yeah, YouTube's pretty good. Mr. Default says, I'm going to go to YouTube. What's your YouTube? It's a football live chat. If you click on my TikTok profile, it should say it on the top there. Yeah, like that. The good thing about YouTube is it doesn't crash. Sometimes TikTok just crashes, which is unfortunate. Dawood says Trafford didn't have a choice because the the buyback clause, so he had to basically go. I'd be interested to see if he stays as the first choice there or if they get Donnarumma. Curious to see how that works out. Skill Rush says Madrid or Barcelona. I'd have to go for Barcelona, being a Liverpool fan. I basically would have to. Especially with a certain right back that they have at Madrid now. I can't really support them. Peter says, hello. How are you, Peter? Hope you're well. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Or is this Mr. Default? This might be Mr. Default, but I hope you're good anyway. Skill Rush, Barcelona or Madrid, what's your favourite? I wouldn't say I have a favourite as such, but right now, if you made me pick one, I'd pick Barcelona. Fair enough. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, YouTube tends to be a lot more stable. TikTok has a tendency to just randomly crash. Yeah, I was thinking that's very formal. I don't know what my full name is there. I need to change that. Yeah, there's probably there will be a way to change it. Yeah. Skilled Rush says, "What's your all-time favorite club?" Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'd go for them. Um, I can't say like I particularly resonate with any other clubs, to be honest. And even like international football, like I don't really enjoy international football. So I try and kind of go on holiday when the international football is on. I tend to generally just watch Liverpool, but like uh, sometimes people say, can you stream the other games? So then I try to do those as well. But yeah, support Liverpool. I like watching PSG play, just watching them play, but I wouldn't say I support them. But how about you? What's your all-time favorite club? Skill Rush says international football is bad. That's true. It feels scripted. Yeah, it just feels like a lot slower to me. And my kind of problem is like I find it hard to like support an international team because there'll be players in the team that I don't like. You know, like as an example, so I was born in England, um, but then the problem is England have Harry Kane. I don't like Harry Kane because he plays for Tottenham. England have Bukayo Saka. I don't like Saka because he plays for Arsenal. So then that makes it a bit harder for me to support England in football. But in other sports, it's fine. Like there's a couple of good like English boxers that I like. Couple of good English MMA fighters that I like. But I think the issue with football is there's other players there who play for other teams, so then I just can't get into it. Skill Rush's all-time favorite is Real Madrid. What do you think of number 12, Trent? Are you happy about that? Are you happy about the new right back, or um would you rather have Carvajal? Mr. Default says that's better. Yeah, that's a bit less formal. Also, on just out of curiosity, now that you're on YouTube, is the you know how you were saying on TikTok it was cutting off the left? Can you see like the full lev and the full timer now? Um, or is it still cutting it off? I'm curious. Because then that will confirm if it's an application thing or if it's like a phone thing. Skill Rush says, but as your country, just support it as if my country would be in international football. It would be good. My country is just too bad. What is your country? When I watch international football, I tend to just watch whatever team has the most Liverpool players. So right now I'm watching Netherlands because they have Van Dijk, um, they have Gakpo, they have Frimpong, they have Gravenberch. Vertical YouTube cuts it off. It's we. I think it's highly dependent on the phone. Um, like on my phone, like I've got the stream going here on my phone. My phone, it's okay. I think it depends on like what kind of phone you have, because like some phones are like thinner and longer, and I think the thinner and longer phones they might cut it off. Whereas this phone is like quite wide, so I think it kind of fits it in. It's weird. They need to make it a bit more consistent. Skill Rush says Carvajal is OG and GOAT, but Trent's situation is sad for Liverpool. I personally don't believe in Trent defending really much. Yeah, most of us don't feel the same as you, to be honest. So we're curious to see what will happen. We're curious to see what will happen. Mr. Default can see more now. I can see. You can see all the time, but you can only see Ev. Huh. That is weird. That is bizarre. Skill Rush's country is India. Interesting. On YouTube, the stream is slightly more delayed. That is bizarre. Um, could it be when you like? Could it be related to when you join the stream? The reason is YouTube is going out natively, whereas TikTok is actually going through a virtual machine which is running Windows, and that virtual machine is running TikTok Studio, which is then taking a feed from my Mac to put it in. So basically, like YouTube should be native. It should be TikTok that should be behind. So it could be a server issue on the YouTube side, but yeah, YouTube should be the soonest because Because as I said, TikTok is actually going through a virtual machine. That is interesting. It's interesting to get this feedback. I can't lie. Who do you think's the Ballon d'Or winner this year? As in the current one, it's probably going to be Dembele. If I'm honest with you, I'd love Salah to get it, but I think it's gonna be Dembele. Skill Rush says you don't look like you're from India. You look like you're Asian or Arabic. Yeah. I've never been to India. I understand. Like if you speak like Urdu or Punjabi or Hindi, I can probably understand what you're saying. But if you speak Gujarati, I won't understand that. Derwood says, I know YouTube is ahead of Twitch. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Extremely interesting. Because Twitch is the one, based on how it's set up, like Twitch is the one that goes live first. And then YouTube after that. But they're coming from the same source. So it's YouTube probably has like faster servers. YouTube probably has faster servers, I guess, than Twitch. YouTube and Twitch, they're using the same stream. This is actually really interesting. I can't lie. Skill Rush says, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Ronaldo's back. Good to hear. How you doing? Skill Rush says, from where are your ancestors? My parents are from Pakistan. I've been there once. But I was born in England. Ronaldo says, hi. How are you, Ronaldo? Hope you're having a good weekend. NP19 got my new Liverpool shirt today. I can't lie. Slightly jealous, but happy for you. Which one did you get? Did you get home? Did you get away? If you could only use one, what would you use? Ooh, YouTube, Twitch, or TikTok. The thing is with TikTok, like you get lots of reach. The thing I don't like about TikTok is quite often if you say the wrong thing, even innocuously, it'll give you a warning. So when we were talking about the Isak deal, I said a phrase which is, there's no SMOKE without FIRE. So I said that phrase. And then when I ended the stream, it gave me a warning. It gave me a warning for promoting tobacco. And I was like, what? For saying there's no SMOKE without FIRE. It gave me a warning for that. Saying I was promoting. I was like, no, that's a phrase. And the thing is, you can't even appeal that. So that's what I find irritating about TikTok. Probably YouTube, because I think YouTube it's the fast platform. It's got good kind of moderation tools as well. And the thing is with YouTube, you can reach out to actual people, whereas on TikTok, like a lot of the moderation is done via AI, I think. And you can't even appeal it. So I've got a warning on there for apparently promoting stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't even do that. Like I don't like drink or smoke or anything. So that kind of stuff irritates me. Proper. A home kit in longs. Ooh, you got a nice one, man. The long sleeve is nice. You made a good choice there. Nice, man. Enjoy it. Barcelona won 3-2. I should really stop the timer, to be fair, but they ended up winning it. Ever tried korma, nahari, or biryani? Korma's nice, especially when they put coconut in it. Nahari, I probably have tried. Biryani is quite good. Hugo Ekatike is back. How you doing? Mr. Default says, "What the hell?" Yeah, I was so annoyed that day, especially when like I feel like I behave myself. Like I feel like I feel like I don't ever say anything bad, and I'm like, why? Why is it giving me a warning for that? Where it's because it's all like AI based, and it heard that phrase and was probably thought I was promoting something, and I was like, I'm not. That proper irritated me. I can't lie. At that point, I was gonna stop on that platform, but then I just carried on. But what I like about YouTube is like you can get through to an actual person. So even if they make a mistake, like they actually did make a mistake once. Um, it was on a stream like 3 or 4 streams ago. I had a little thing crop up on YouTube where it said I was doing election advertising in the US, and I was like, what? There's no election, and why would I be election advertising? I don't even like speak about politics or anything. So then I appealed it and I said, guys, this is nothing about election advertising. We're talking about football or soccer, as some of you might call it. And then a person looked at it and they were like, yeah, sorry, we made a mistake. We've taken that off. So that's what I like about YouTube. You can get through to a real person, whereas TikTok just does it all on AI, and you can't get through. Hugo says Guimaraes and McAllister are similar players. Would you agree? Similar, yeah. I'd say McAllister is a bit more technical, whereas Guimaraes is a bit more physical. YouTube without YouTube Shorts is legendary. Shorts destroyed YouTube. I hear what you're saying. I miss the old days of YouTube, where it had less adverts as well. There's no coconut in korma, bro. I've had it once when there was coconut in it. It was quite nice. But I prefer something a bit hotter. Generally, I like my spice. And not being able to peel is stupid, especially if it's moderated by AI. It's proper annoying. Oh, there's a button. There is a button. By the way, there is a button. You can click on it, and if you click the button on to appeal, it says, "Sorry, we can't do anything, but you can pursue legal action if you want." And I'm like, what? I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, TikTok's a bit annoying. The other downside is because I run TikTok through a virtual machine because I'm on a Mac. Sometimes it thinks I'm not there, and it just finishes the stream because it says I'm not responding. But that's because I'm running it through a virtual machine. But yeah, YouTube is more stable. YouTube just works. Skill Rush says, "Do you stream games?" I do on my gaming channel. Again, it's not particularly organized or anything, if you know what I mean. It's like if I'm playing a game, I'll just press the stream button. I'll see if I can put it in the chat for you. Yeah, it's that one. But to be honest, it's not particularly like some people have said you should create a schedule and say you're going to stream on this day, but I'm like, I already have to do that for the football. So when I play games, I just press the go live button and then that's it, if that makes sense. Ellie says a surprise Brentford won. I'm happy they won. I stood there shocked at full time. Yeah, I'm quite happy for them as well. Kelleher had a good game. Um, Henderson had a good game, so good for them. Ever tried coronation chicken sandwiches? No. um, are those like curry sandwiches? I've never really mixed the two, but is that is that like are you recommending them? Should I try them? AFC Dave. I know it says DL now, but I just find saying AFC Dave is a bit easier. it rolls off the tongue easier. Arteta will ruin Eze. I'm curious as to kind of see where he's going to play him. Is he going to play him on the wing or what's going to happen? Um, I'm curious to see how it works out. If Korma is done, yeah. Like I swear, like I've had Korma sometimes, and it's got like a bit of coconut in it. But to be fair, not always, but certain times it does. And when it does have coconut in it, it's quite good. It's quite good. Skill Rush is not convinced. Skill Rush is saying korma's made from meat. Coconut is like dipping a burger in Nutella. It's one of those things where it doesn't sound like it would work, but it weirdly kind of works. Like it's hard. Like I can understand why it sounds kind of horrible, but it's one of those things that weirdly kind of works. As bizarre as that is. Search coronation chicken sandwiches. They sound disgusting. I can't lie. I can't lie. I mean, I'll search since you asked. Yeah, they just. I mean, like when I'm in the mood for a sandwich, it tends to be like a British sandwich, like pretty bog standard. I don't think I'd go for that to be honest. It's like if I wanted chicken, like I'd go for a wrap. Like I think like a chicken wrap is good. But if you're like that, just the yellowness just doesn't look appetizing to me. Just to be honest, if it was in a wrap, like, and I can't see it, maybe, but yeah, I cannot. I cannot. I'll leave those to you. But chicken in a wrap can like if you get a chicken wrap from supermarket, they can be nice. Villa started the season poorly, yeah. Draw against Newcastle in particular. Hopefully they bounce back. Groundbreaking news. I put YouTube into mini player so it went small on my screen and I could see Lev 2 bar 3 the whole time, and I clicked back on it to make it bigger and I could see less. Yeah, I think it's to do with the phones. I think phones have different sizes and things, which sometimes hide the elements in the corner. The thing is though, Mr. Default is on YouTube. On YouTube, I actually have two streams for each stream. So there's a vertical stream, which is the one that Mr. Default is on. But there's another live stream at the same time, which is horizontal, which is the one that Durwood's on. With horizontal, that will probably show. With horizontal, it basically shows more of my room and that kind of stuff. But that's another benefit to YouTube when you were asking earlier. Actually, you can stream in vertical and horizontal at the same time. So with horizontal, it will probably show the score. Yeah, chicken sandwiches. I'm not convinced. Durwood likes coronation chicken. It's so good. So not just good, so good. Like so good. So the thing that's putting me off, right? It's just the yellow. It just looks like my shirt. You know what I mean? Like it's the same color as my shirt. I've never tried it. I'm. I mean, if so many of you like it, I might need to. I might need to give it a try. That's what makes Hugo Ekitike class because he eats them. Might need to give it a try. I miss chicken. I like paneer. Paneer is good. Paneer is good. Um, I went my whole life not ever tasting paneer, and then I had it by accident, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty nice." So paneer is nice. It's like cheese. It's a bit like It's a bit like it's Indian, but it's a bit like Cypriot cheese. But it's nice. Paneer is good. Yeah, if you went on your Xbox, it would show horizontal. Yeah, it looks like scrambled eggs. I don't like eggs. Eggs are one thing I just don't eat. So that's it. So mentally, that's probably what it's signifying. It's not just good; it's also good. Yeah, it looks like sick. That's the thing. It just doesn't look appetizing to me. I just can't, man. Well, I mean, you guys are saying. I like it, but I don't pick it when I'm buying a sandwich. Um, I hear what you're saying. So you're saying you like eating it, but it wouldn't be your first choice. It's a handmade cottage cheese. Is that the paneer? As in the paneer? Paneer is great. I'll it's pretty easy to cook. To be fair, pretty easy to cook as well. When the sandwich is on your screen, I could see more of your room. This is weird. These are the quirks. These are the quirks of YouTube. On YouTube, if you click on my profile, you'll see there's two streams. So you've clicked on the one that says vertical at the start. There's another stream that doesn't say vertical at the start. It just says Levante versus Barcelona. That's the horizontal stream. So then you can see my giant mirror. You can see my gaming PC, Star Wars poster. NP19 really wants that black and gold and red Liverpool shirt, Torres era. Yeah, that's quite a nice one, isn't it? That's quite a nice one, isn't it? It's I might have to get that one as well. I might have to get that one as well. I think black and gold goes very good. And I missed the default and I switched to horizontal. And it's like, oh, that's what you mean. Yes, it's clear now. It's you can see more of the room. You can see the mirror. I love that mirror. Can't lie, it's massive. Star Wars poster. I don't know why I'm looking behind. I can just look on the screen. But yeah, that's another kind of benefit. You can stream in horizontal and vertical. Some people prefer horizontal. Some people prefer vertical. Whatever works. What I like about horizontal is I'm a bit less self-conscious because vertical, I feel like it's zoomed right in on my face. Are you going to stop the clock? That's a good suggestion. Because people will think it's still going. But click the refresh button. How do you think the game will play out on Monday? I think Liverpool will probably win it 2-0. Newcastle didn't have the best pre-season. They also didn't score versus Villa. They also don't have Isak. They also don't have Wilson. So I think they'll struggle to score. I think Liverpool will get probably 2-0. What do you think? Mr. Default says, "Wow, I can see your whole." Yeah, it's the joy of horizontal. Yeah, more space to work with. Prediction for Everton versus Brighton. I'm going 3-0 the Blues. That took me a second there. I was like, what? And then I realized it was Dale. And I was like, oh, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I was thinking, what? But that's confidence. I respect the confidence. I respect the confidence. Mr. Default says, I need to go to every stream, and is then appearing on Twitch saying, hello, I've made it to every stream. What's my prize? Your prize is, I will support Man United versus, oh, that's a bit far. Yeah, you know what? I was gonna say I was gonna say I'll support Man United tomorrow, and then I had to stop myself. I'll need to take time to come up with a appropriate prize. Yeah, I'll have to take time to think of something. That's my excuse. NP19 says, yeah, I reckon a comfortable 2-0 win. Ekitike 2 goals. I wouldn't mind that. I think Ekitike 1, Salah 1, but 2-0. Mr. Default says, yes, Man United shirt tomorrow. Here we go. Thankfully, I don't own one. Thankfully. Yeah, you'll regret saying that. I had to stop myself. I had to stop myself mid-sentence. It's I had to think of a spot. Think of a prize on the spot, and then I was like, hold on. You know when somebody says, just ask you something on the spot, and then you regret it when you're saying it. It was one of those. So yeah, thankfully, my excuse is I didn't fully say it. I didn't fully say it. I said I'll support. Actually, I might have half said it, but I at least 100% didn't say it. So I think that's a positive. That is indeed a positive. Cool. I've still got Coronation Chicken on my screen, which I am going to close. But anyway, that was a good. It was a good game, and it was a good convo. I've certainly learnt quite a lot about how the different streams go out, because I thought they were all in sync. Yeah, Twitch is like, which is interesting. That makes sense. Twitch being ahead makes sense because Twitch I have to start first. For Durwood, I think she said YouTube was ahead, and I thought that's weird. The order in which I have to start it is Twitch first, then YouTube, and then whilst YouTube is running, I have to start TikTok, which is why sometimes it messes up. But yeah, Twitch should be slightly ahead. Mr. Default prefers the horizontal stream. Me too. I'm more of a horizontal person. Can't lie. So yeah, that's another one of the benefits. NP19 says, you reckon Leone get a start if Kanate drops another stinker? I'd be surprised. I think they're gonna slowly let Leone into the team. I think they're not gonna want to throw him in the deep end. PG says, if Liverpool can't get Isak, what about Alvarez? I think him and Wirtz interchange. It could really, really work. But I feel like there would have been more in the media about Isak being an alternative if this story had legs, if you know what I mean. To be honest with you, I feel like they've decided it's going to be Isak or nobody. That's the vibe that I get. How you doing, Cengiz? Sorry. Hope you are well. Hope you're good. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Mr. Default says, for me, TikTok and Twitch are ahead of YouTube. That is surprising. That, especially, not that. The Twitch is not surprising, but the TikTok being ahead is surprising. Because I'm on a Mac. Well, this is being streamed off of a Mac. and TikTok does not have a native Mac app. So to get TikTok to work, I'm running the feed through a virtual machine which is running Windows. That Windows virtual machine is running TikTok Studio, and it's taking the webcam feed from the Mac, and then it's uploading that to TikTok. So I'm surprised that TikTok's ahead. That is surprising. That is very surprising. But I've learned something today. NP19 says, I really don't think we need a striker. Do you think would be okay? I'd want at least one, because I think we've got Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike, and Chiesa. And I appreciate we have Rio as well, but I'm not sure kind of how much playtime Rio would get. I'd want at least one, just to give me a bit of assurance. PG says, would like to go all out for just one signing, Baleba at Liverpool next year. Or I wouldn't mind that. What I think could happen is it feels like this year they've focused on the attack. So they've focused on Isak, they've focused on Florian Wirtz, they've focused on promoting Rio, you could say. I've got a feeling next year they'll probably focus on the defense, because Konate might be off and Virgil will be 35 with 1 year left. So I got a feeling next year they might focus on the defense. But equally, if Baleba is available for a good fee, they should be in for him, because I think he's very good. NP19 says, Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike, Chiesa, Rio, Wirtz, kind of good in attack, I think. What does ASW mean? Let me know what that means. Harry says, I can't lie. I can't sleep. Just go back to my explanation about how I'm running TikTok through a virtual machine. That will probably put you to sleep. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I can't even breathe. Maybe open a window or something. Drinking water, perhaps that could help. I was gonna say maybe Google it, but then sometimes Googling it makes it worse. But yeah, it's typical of kind of whenever you've been on a long holiday, these things can happen. As well, yeah. The only kind of concern I'd have with that then is it missing a bit of pace maybe? But it's not the end of the world. To be fair, it's not the end of the world if we don't get a striker. But I would like one. Lindelof is still a free agent, and he will remain a free agent. Fingers crossed. Harry says it is open and it doesn't help. Stupid cold, yeah, stupid plane. That's interesting as well, because you got back on Thursday. Yeah, this exact same thing happened to me. So you got back on Thursday, and 2 days later you feel awful. I got back on Wednesday, and by Friday I felt awful. So whatever we catch on planes, it must have a 2-day delay. It'll be great if Rio scores on Monday. I can't lie. I would like that. I'd like for him just to get an opportunity to start with, but my stream is still running, by the way. It's they're showing Bournemouth. They're showing the Bournemouth game now, all right. But yeah, I'd like Rio to get a bit of time. And if he gets a goal, even better. Harry says, "Oh well, yeah, it's one of those annoying things." To be honest, like it took me a few days to feel better, and I'm somebody who typically doesn't get sick that much. But But the good news is next week you'll be super resistant and nothing will stop you. So that is the positive. After I recovered from that illness, I then wasn't sick for. I don't think I've been sick since. No. I wasn't sick for another 6 months. In my opinion, they're all fairly quick. Picking out verts as slowest, but still not too. Yeah, to be fair, not too bad. Not too bad. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. Whenever I Google my illness, it turns out I have testicular cancer. I'm a female. Yeah. That's the trouble with googling illnesses. I used to Google. I used to have. I wouldn't say I had an issue doing this, but I used to do this when I was younger. I was getting like shortness of breath, and I was googling it, and then I convinced myself that I had like COPD, and then I spoke to the doctor about it. COPD is apparently what you get if you smoke like 50 cigarettes. If you smoke like 50 cigarettes a day. But yeah, since then I don't know why I had shortness of breath. I don't know what it was, but yeah, since then I've never Googled anything. Harry says this track should happen when I get better. Yeah, focus on getting better first, 100%. Mr. Default says a dodgy stream. Of course not. The most legit of legitimate streams. Of course. Would really love it if Chiesa gets minutes. Yeah, me too. I love kind of how happy he is kind of whenever he gets given an opportunity. He just seems so happy to be there. And he manages to get a goal as well, which is always good. Google ends with, yeah, it does. It always somehow kind of convinces you that you've got the worst possible prognosis every single time. So yeah, I just never. I did, as I said, I did go down that rabbit hole once, but since then I've just never bothered. Safest opportunity. Yeah, seems like a player who really appreciates playing. Yeah, he does. Seems kind of happy to be there. Doesn't seem to really have an ego, which makes all the comments about his attitude all the more bizarre. But yeah, I'm happy to see Chiesa get a minute. Nick says Arsenal got the league, bro. Lol. Oscar is the beast. Says hi. How are you, Oscar? Why do I have yeah, that's a good one, to be fair. Why do I have a headache? You got a brain tumor. Yeah. Somebody I know actually went down that rabbit hole. I can't remember who now. I think it was somebody at uni or something. But yeah. Yeah, it doesn't throw a strop, does Chiesa? Got a good attitude, gets his head down, which is what you want to see. Chiesa is the Italian Salah, always smiling. Yeah, that's a nice way of describing him. Always smiling and seems to pretty much score whenever he gets on the pitch. So that's another positive. Arsenal second place. Here we go. Yeah, they are the other kings of the silver medal, it seems. The thing is as well, like, it's just, how do I say this? Like, it's all well and good kind of being happy, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then when it doesn't work out, I then don't want to listen to, oh, the Cronkies are terrible. Oh, the Cronkies have not invested. Oh, the Cronkies are so bad. It's like you had no problem with the Cronkies on the 23rd of August. But now that it hasn't worked out, now the Cronkies are the devil. It's just the same cycle every single year. So let's hope it works out. But secretly not. Where do you stand with Mamadashvili? I was gonna say pretty much a foot less, but I'm not a foot less. He's 6'6". I'm not 5'6". Um, um, I think Mamardashvili's. I mean, he looks good. I mean, physically, he's 6'6", so that helps. He looks like a pretty good shot stopper. Some people have raised concerns about his ball playing ability, which I'm keeping a keen eye on. Um, but based on the surface of what I've seen, he looks pretty good. He was quite cheap. Um, I'd sum it up by saying I've got an open mind. The thing is with Allison as well. Allison will get injured this season, so we will have good opportunity to see Mamardashvili. Always scores until he faces Onana, like it is with most top strikers. They are intimidated. What is happening with Onana? He's probably going to be off. Apparently, Man United are getting a new keeper, like 17 million or something, 20 million. So he'll probably come in as the starter, and then Bayendia will probably be the backup, and then Onana might end up going. Yeah, Onana will score for him. If I'm ever to take a shot against Onana, I'm going near post. It just seems to be the best place to put it. Even if like Onana is standing right next to the post, that's the post I'm gonna go for. He seems to have a blind spot when it comes to his near post. NP19 says Pesci looked decent in pre-season too. Yeah. And again, he's Hungarian, I think, so he's fitting in quite nicely with Szoboszlai and Kerkez, so that's good. Also, again, kind of quite tall. Made a couple of nice saves in pre-season. Very cheap. I think about £1 million, something like that. So yeah, I mean, especially in today's market, £1 million is literally not a risk at all. So yeah, no, I'm quite happy with him. Mr. Default says, Onana to Liverpool, here we go, 100 million. Just imagine if that actually happened. Just imagine the outrage online. I'm somebody who generally doesn't get too outraged about transfers. The latest thing that we're getting out, the latest thing that that Liverpool fans are getting outraged about on Twitter is that our media team hasn't made enough of an effort to announce our signings. But anyway, if that happened, I would get annoyed. Of course, it's not going to happen, but that would be something that would tip me over the edge. And I'm somebody who's very hard to tip over the edge. Freddie Woodman, way. Yeah, is that the thing where you have to say their names? My favorite is Daniel Farker. That's my favorite. But Freddie Woodman would be a second. Derwood thinks that Onana will be a big downfall for the club if they don't get rid of him. They were much better with the hair. Yeah, there were genuinely times last year, like I didn't do streaming last year. I think we started in like March, but there were genuinely times last year where I just watched Man United by myself, just to see what Onana was gonna mess up. Like I generally watch it as like a comedy thing. Like I wasn't even streaming. I would just watch it just to see what mistake Onana would make. That was like a good portion of last year. Blue Moon Tiger King is not particularly happy with his team. Manchester City were an embarrassment today. I was surprised. I can't lie. I never would have predicted a 2-0 win for Spurs. So you are justified in your frustration. Do you think they need to buy any new players, or do you think it's a tactical thing that they just need to sort out? Apparently, Shirky didn't do too well. People are not very happy about that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Emmanuel Benson and Nicholas Jackson. That's another good one. But yeah, Daniel Farker is my favorite. The other day, I just watched that clip like 20 times. it's the way it's the way it zooms in on his face. I just can't. It's the funniest thing. Mr. Default says beef jerky is not it's not all that. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to say that's perhaps why not many clubs were in for him, because they probably had questions about his work ethic. NP19 says perfect impression. Yeah, you can tell I've been doing it a lot. Like I think it was like 2 days ago. I just kept saying it. I've perfected it. Yeah, Jacob Umzi. That's another good one. Yeah, those things always make me laugh. Yeah, Mikolenko. Yeah, that's another good one. I don't know why those things are so funny, but they just are. But yeah. Oh yeah. That one was shocking. He's like Rasmus Hoyland. Like he's proper annoyed. It's like dang. Yeah. And like there's the gap, and like he's just so angry. Like he's fuming. He's absolutely furious. Like what's going on there? Dot says, how do you like Newcastle? I think they got a good team. Hopefully they don't have a good team on Monday, but in general, I think they'll be fine. Yeah, Mikolenko's another one. 2 years on United, and he's broken. Yeah, that is the United effect, unfortunately. He was not happy. I have not seen that one, Benjamin Sheshko. I've not seen that one. I'll need to see that. I just keep watching Daniel Farker over and over again. And TikTok better not have given me a warning, because I said Daniel F and it's going to think it's a swear word. I bet ya tomorrow it's going to give me a warning for saying the F word. When in reality, I'm just saying the surname of Leeds' manager. The videos are so awkward. They are awkward. That's kind of what makes them funny. I can't lie. NP19 says, can't believe Xhaka has scored. Me neither. If it's any comfort, I did think Leeds kind of failed to defend. Like all the defenders were just kind of standing there. And he also went near post. I would have expected the keeper to do better. So he scored, but like the context of him scoring didn't feel like all that. My name is Carlos Paleva. Yeah, and then they say it again without my name. And another good one is hi David Moyes. and then they say it again. He's like, hi David Moyes. Oh God. Who would have thought people just saying their names could be so funny. Arsenal keep scoring scrappy goals. Scrappy goals, I mean goals from corners, goals from set pieces. Again, I'm not getting like too overexcited or too over concerned about today's results. I mean, it's Leeds. There's the reason why I didn't stream that game is because I knew they were going to win and it was going to be depressing watching it. But Leeds are kind of a relegation candidate team. Last week, everyone was saying Man City were the best thing since sliced bread, and again I said, well, Man City playing Wolves. So even though they won 4-0, I'm not getting too overexcited. This week, Arsenal beat a relegation team, and people are getting overexcited. I'm like, it is what it is. There's a long way to go. Mateus Cash, yes, the that's probably what I'll call him from now on. NP19 says just so awful. The goals, everything, ping ponging around, tapping it home. Oh right, is that kind of how it was going? I saw the Gyökeres goal like on my phone, but I've not seen any of the others. Let's be real, Liverpool are winning. I like to hear that. Is that the Newcastle game or the league or both? Fingers crossed it will be both. But anyway, I must go now because it is far past my bedtime, and I have promised to do the Man United game tomorrow, which I need to create a thumbnail for. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Inside Arsenal says, I'm already looking forward to next Sunday. You won't be playing Bournemouth. Very true. We'll be playing a team who I think probably slightly better than Newcastle. But we will be at home, so I think that helps. The league, yeah, I still think it's Liverpool's league to lose. If Liverpool don't win, I'd be good with Palace or Leeds. Can't complain. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Durwood. Have a nice... I was going to say have a nice afternoon, as I normally do, but it might be evening for you very soon. But yeah, have a nice evening. As I said, I'll be back... I shall be back tomorrow for the United game, 4:30 UK time. So yeah, see you guys then. Take care. Have a nice evening. And yeah, see you then for more fun. Take care, guys.